Hey guys, and welcome. This is Mel from Mel's Divination. If you like the channel, we do all kinds of witchy and YouTubey tarot things here. Make sure you subscribe, comment, share, and like the videos to help us with the algorithm. See you all soon. Hey everybody, I'm Mel from Mel's Divination. Today we are doing reaction video, technically number 4, but it's to their reaction video number 3 because the last one was part 1 and part 2. As a reminder, I am filming this to educate. I am doing this to help you guys. I do recommend you go back and watch the very first video and the second and the third before you watch this one. At least watch the first one so you get a little bit of an intro to why I'm doing this, who these people are, why did I start it, and what is my opinion about it, okay? Because I'm not going to do that every single time to save time. You guys don't need to hear the spiel every single video. So today we're doing reaction video number 3, and this one is going to be called, it's to Unmasking Magic series with Pam, number 3, and Pam and Mary Lynn react to 10 shorts on witchcraft that viewers sent to them is the title of this video that we're going to be reacting to. As a reminder, I am going to edit out just the glitches and the ads. I tried to do this live and there was a lot of glitchy issues, so I was wasting a lot of screen time. There was a lot of black screen stuff going on, so I decided to record it, edit, and then upload. Hopefully I'll be able to get back into doing live reactions. I'm not going to be censoring myself or editing myself, and I'm not going to be editing their stuff. I'm just simply editing the glitches and the commercial. Before we get really situated and into this whole thing, I do want to remind all of you that are watching, I am running an August sale, 50% off on all readings at my website, both under appointments and in the store section. Go to my community tab in YouTube and check out, because you need a code for the appointments. You do not need a code for the store. The store, it's automatically, everything is 50% off. So definitely check that out if you're on a budget, back to school time, that kind of thing, and you're looking for a sale. I won't be running another sale until at least the end of November. All right, now we'll jump into all of this. So let's share my screen. See these two ladies, and we have full screen from them. Okay, and we're gonna get going right away. I have not previewed this one at all, so I have no idea what they're talking about today.
Hello, everyone. We're back.
Hey, welcome and welcome back.
So I know it's been a bit. We've had lots going on. I was out of the country for a while, and then we were actually both sick, and just sort of life happened, and I wasn't able to get another one of these out.
I do usually put them on 5 speed because they are kind of slow talkers, in my opinion. And as a reminder, everything I say here
so
is
looking through all of you guys have been awesome. The amount of videos you have sent me is incredible. I hate to say keep sending them because there are so many. Like it can go on for a while. And what we've done is
actually, before I even go any further with that, if you guys have channels or videos that you want me to react to live like this, feel free to send it to me, melsdivinationreadings@gmail.com.
Had someone comb through them and take out all the little clips, like little shorts and things from, I think some of them are YouTube, some of them are TikTok, and so they just put them together, and I believe there are 10 of them. We're gonna react to them today. I called on my bestie over here to do it with me because it is much nicer having someone react along with you. It's just nicer. So
yeah, I've never tried to do a reaction alone, but I can imagine it would be
yeah not as great, not as amusing. So so all right, well, welcome to TCS Everyday Psychics. I'm Pam.
I'm Mary Lynn.
And this is, I believe, our 3rd installment of Unmasking Witchcraft. Now, there's something that I do want to say. because we've done a couple of these videos and we've had people say, I'm a witch and I'm offended of what you said. If it doesn't apply to you, then we're not talking about you.
Mhm.
That's what I want to say. There are nice witches out there. There are people who, what we consider to be a witch are those who come and attack us, and we get attacked. That's who we're talking about. That's our. Do we know? Or I certainly know a couple of people who are witches, and they're good witches. But we're really coming to this series from the, I don't know what you call it, the mindset, the background, the experience of the witches we deal with doing this work. And we don't come across nice ones. We don't come across good ones. We don't come across those who are really fun and friendly and
This is
are just sort
interesting.
of
I have a lot to say
using
about this.
their practice sort of the same way we do. So that's how we're coming to this. So again, if you get upset over something one of us says, probably something that I say, then we're not talking about you. Then we're not talking about you. So yeah, I just wanted to put that out there.
Mhm.
All
Yeah.
right. Should we just jump?
Okay, so before it really gets going, I wanted to look when 2 months ago it shows. So they did this 2 months ago. So I'm doing these videos behind time, if that makes sense. So I am not doing reaction videos the minute they put out, because I'm sure that they're putting out more newer content, and I'm playing catch up a little bit. So I'm glad that she's acknowledging this. If you want, the reason why I advised you to go back and watch videos 1, 2, and 3 that I did about these, specifically Pam, Mary Lynn joined in the last one. I had a lot to say about the negativity that was being put out there about every witch. And she did at one point say at the beginning of the first video something like, take what resonates, leave the rest. And that's fine, but my problem here is, and I'm going to use a racial example, racism. I'm going to use racism as an example just because I want it to be crystal clear. The problem with saying, if it bothers you, I'm not talking about you. First of all, if it bothers you, that doesn't mean that you're a good or a bad witch, like what they call bad witch. It literally could be negative people that do dark attacking, as Pam is saying, which I don't believe. I'm just trying to use their wording. Is bothered as well. They would be bothered as well. So the good witches that they're talking about, it doesn't really, that comment doesn't really work. So I have a lot of people in the racism example, comparison that I'm going to use right now is, I have a lot of people in my life that are people of color, different types, different nationalities, different cultures. I have people that are from Cape Verdean. I have people that are from Nigeria. I have people that are from the Ivory Coast. I have people that are from Liberia, people that are from Puerto Rico, Haiti, the islands, a lot of different ones, just general African Americans. So I know a lot of Dominicans, Spanish people as well. I know a lot of different people in different cultures because of where I worked as a teacher. I got to meet a lot of really cool people, honestly. And I got to see life through a different lens than I ever had before, because I grew up in white suburbia. I'm going to use a racial comparison to what she's saying about witches, good witches, bad witches. It's like putting all Black people in the same category and saying all Black people are the N-word, and all Black people are violent, and all Black people are criminals, and all Black men are rapists. It's like doing that and then just saying, don't worry about it. If it doesn't apply to you, don't worry about it. You can't say an overarching narrative, a definition. It's like saying that with white women or even Black women. I've heard that Black women I know many Black women actually. So please, if you are one, don't take offense, because I don't believe this, but I've heard people say this, that Black women can be very angry and aggressive at times. I don't believe that. It's just what I've heard others out there say. And that's like saying that, but don't be offended if that's not you. You can't say something nasty towards a culture, towards a religion, towards a race, and then be like, oh, that, but, and make it so general that it sounds like you're talking about everybody, and then think that it's okay to just be like, well, if it doesn't apply to you, then it doesn't apply to you. No, you can't walk around saying all Black people are aggressive and criminals and be like, but there's, and then not cover yourself ever except for one time and be like, oh, but if it offends you, it's not about you. So that's a catch-all. She's trying to cover herself, and at least that's how it comes across to me, and I don't find that to be reassuring. I don't find that to be any less rude. I don't find that she's trying to be politically correct, but she's not being politically correct. I don't find it to be any more comforting than the way that she's been talking. It doesn't smooth everything over, is what I'm trying to say here. So her statement is not, I'm glad she's trying. That I will give her credit for sure. But it's almost like somebody being like, I have lots of friends that are Spanish people, so I can talk like this. No, you can't. So I don't find that statement comforting or helpful or making her kind. I'm not seeing that. All right, let's keep going.
Right in?
Sure.
All right.
Yeah.
Ooh, subscribe, like, share, do all that great stuff, and comment.
Yes, please.
We love your comments. So, all right, here we go. And what do they mean by prophetic?
When you're under a prophetic witchcraft attack, you might feel like there's eyes on you, man. And it's very eerie. It's a very uncomfortable feeling. And I later learned that this was because of monitoring spirits that have been assigned to me. Monitoring spirits work in the realm of witchcraft. And they're like, you might say they're spiritual peeping toms. They're evil eavesdroppers. They're watching and they're listening because they want to trap you. They want to snare you. And they are kind of like satanic watchdogs.
Watch Pam's face,
informants,
because she's already said that she
network
believes
that
this.
watches and reports information back to higher ranking demonic powers so they can devise their plans to steal, kill, and destroy your life.
All right. I'm going to start out by saying she is pretty dramatic, that one.
I'm going to jump right in and say, you are right.
Yes. I agreed with everything I agreed with everything she said. I just not with quite such zeal or whatever, just the drama of that. Yes. And we typically don't use the word demon. But can some higher level witches use entities to spy on you, it happens to us all the time, right? Yeah. So
I
yeah,
gotta say that what you said is possible, but it's not definitive.
Correct. I would agree with that as well.
Yeah.
Yes. And I'm going to say that she is from a Christian faith, because there was a,
Oh my gosh. Sorry, guys. This is why I'm watching it I'm not editing myself at all. So if you have not watched the last 2 reaction videos that I did, one of the things I said repeatedly about Pam was, even though she doesn't call herself this, she's very based in Christianity. Even though she doesn't claim it, a lot of her reactions to things are very aligned with Christianity. So it's so funny for her to say that. That makes me laugh, because one of the things I said in the last video was that I feel like she doesn't have the best self-awareness of the way that she comes across. And I think that this is a perfect example of that, of what I've said previously. Now, as far as witches spying on you, I mean, I've never had that experience. I also have a lot of protection around me, but this is a theme for Pam, that she believes that this happens to her all the time. And I just think that's really funny, because what are they trying to learn about you? Like, the amount of energy it would take to do something like that, and the skill it would take to do something like that, the person would really have to have a lot of time on their hands and be extremely skilled. And I just find it very, very interesting. And I know that there are witches out there. I'm putting it in quotes because I'm not witches. I know there's people out there that do that. I'm not saying that there aren't, but it's rare. I haven't come across any. Have you come across any? Comment below and let me know. Okay, let's keep going.
Not that there was this fearish, like God-fearing feel to her. I don't know who she is, but that there was that sort of feel to it.
I said this all about Pam in the last 2 videos, that everything she's coming from is fear mongering, and this is wrong and this is right and this is the way it's got to be, and that's very Christian. So like I said, she's kind of proving what I've said in the past, which is I don't think she has a lot of self-awareness of the things that come out of her mouth and how she comes across.
Do witches, some witches, not all, have
Okay.
entities sort of do their bidding, go to watch you, come and attack you?
You should be saying very
Yes,
few.
they do.
Very
We've had those experiences. They
very
absolutely
few.
do.
And how do you know?
Is it
How do you know?
as one thing I'm going to sort of disagree with her.
I don't know what she's going to say, but she has repeatedly throughout these videos I've watched said this about, she's had entities come and attack her. She's had witches come and spy on her. She's had this and she knows it, but never gives examples of how she knows, of what has happened, of what senses, how do you know that it's not just some anxiety that you're feeling? How do you know that it's not just a basic spirit that's playing games with you? How do you know? Like, she never explains it. And this is what happened to me 30 years ago, when I was expected to just believe things in the Catholic faith. And I'm very evidence-based. Where is the evidence? How do you know? And I'm waiting to see what the evidence is. I'm waiting to see what the evidence is. What is the evidence? Where's the evidence? Show me the evidence.
On is like it's I can't remember what she called it, but like they come and they watch and then they run back to you and spill the beans, like blah, 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 blah. It's not quite like that. It's not like Mary Lynn told me to go to the grocery store and see how much something costs, and I come back to her and say, well, these are your options, and this and this and this. It's not quite.
That is what you made it sound like.
Yes, she did. And it's not quite that. And witches do remote view.
Yes.
Yes.
And we get that a lot too.
And that remote viewing has nothing to do with calling in anybody.
No.
That's all them.
Yes.
That is all them. And it's disturbing and
Yes.
crosses a line that
yes,
this is not okay. I mean, all of it's crossing a line, but
yes. But I do think, maybe not. What I thought.
Remote viewing, some people are gifted at that. I am not. I have been able to do remote viewing just a handful of times. It happens to me in my mind's eye with a flash of something. It happened to me 2 different times when I was trying to help people find their pets. And it wasn't like, okay, let me walk in through the front door and look through the house. It wasn't anything like that. My friend Kyle lost his snake and he asked me for a spell to help find his snake. And as I was going to the book to look for the spell, all of a sudden I got a flash, and I wasn't trying. All of a sudden I got a flash in my mind's eye of, I see a closet and a snake in the closet on the floor in the carpeted closet with the double bifold doors. And I was like, I have a feeling it's in the closet, but I'll get you the spell. And sure enough, the snake was there. But it's not something that I have a lot of control over. Like, I wasn't trying to do that. When I've tried to do it, I can't. And it's not like I was able to walk through the house and see everything that was there. So are some people very skilled and gifted and able to do that? It's possible. I don't know the level of people's abilities of how far it can go. I have never witnessed a remote viewer who is so skilled that they can actually spy on conversations or things, like actually seeing it. I've never witnessed anybody like that. There may be people out there. I'm sure there probably are. There are probably very few, honestly. And again, how do you know? Again, Mary Lynn and Pam, how do you know? How do you know somebody's remote viewing you? How do you know that? I mean, I know that they say that they're mediums and they're psychics and they're sensitives, but let's say I could actually do it and I went and remote viewed them. How would they know that it was me? How would they know that it was me and that I was remote viewing? How would they know that? They probably would sense something, but would they actually? I find it very hard to believe that they're that able to discern that.
Hey, I even argue with myself over that. But when witches are either remote viewing or astral projecting into your home to watch you, those two feel differently from each other, and then those two also feel different than an entity coming and watching. There's a very different feel when it's a human. For me, for the way I distinguish between them,
Maybe she is going to explain it.
A much more solid feel to a witch being in your home than an entity.
Yes. And I'm going to add that there's so many people that do not know when they're being watched.
Absolutely.
They don't have the awareness, the energetic awareness to know.
Yes.
There is that feeling. I mean, anybody knows that feeling of being watched.
Yes.
And so you might have that. What?
Yes.
But most people don't put two and two together to come up with magic.
Yep. Very true. And it's all unethical. Some of it's immoral. You know, there's some lines there that are being crossed that should not. And other people's lives are none of your damn business. Stop. Just stop.
Truthing right there.
Yes, truthing. All right. Yep. So that was one. Ready for another? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, number 2.
Super Bowl at 49.
Yep.
Okay. All right. This is funny. All right.
What on earth?
Oh my gosh. Okay. So
I want to be clear. On the inside, I am roaring with laughter.
Oh, yes. Oh.
On the outside, I have to maintain because I do not want to start coughing.
No. So Mary Lynn she's over the cold or the sickness, whatever. We kind of had it at the same time. It got into her bronchial, that word, tubes.
It's bronchitis now.
It's bronchitis. And so if she gets laughing or too expressive, she'll have a big coughing fit. So
yes, and we don't want that.
We don't want that. So
wow.
I will laugh out loud for you.
Thank you. Can I just say how much ego
my God
is involved there?
Yes.
Whether it's being done in jest
so much
or with the thought of I'm really gonna do something here.
Right.
Either way.
Yes.
So much ego.
And I get so my husband was the coach for years, 20 years, something like that. Both our sons were athletes, high school, college. I get games make you nervous. You want your team to win, all of that. But what the hell? And it had the number. I'm guessing that's the number of the player that she was like, and she was rocking and stabbing. It's like, are you enjoying this at all? Like truly, like sporting events, you're supposed to have a good
I want to say she had no awareness of the event she was at.
No.
But she was enjoying the ritualistic.
Yes. And the way she was rocking, I'm guessing she probably had some chant or something going on in her head, some spell. And you know what? 100 to 1, it makes zero difference to whoever.
I think the odds are greater than that.
Yes. Yes. Oh, yeah. 1,000 to 1, million to 1. Like it made zero for her to sit there and think, for anyone to sit there and think you're going to make, you're going to create an outcome or you're going to do so that, like, hello, no, you're not. And if it does happen and you think you're the one, I'm sorry to tell you, no. And let's even if we get past that part, who the hell are you to try and really hurt another human? Who the hell are you? I remember when my
I didn't
kids were
even
in
know that's
sports
what was
and one of the
happening.
kids would get like hurt, whichever team, you know, a kid would get hurt. And even as they were older, people would cheer. People would cheer that person, that child or that just got hurt. It's just bizarre. You know what? Everyone has a job to do on the field or the court or wherever you're, and everyone's trying to win and do their best. And yeah, I don't know. It's my first reaction obviously was to laugh because that is so stupid. But that lady has some issues. She needs some real therapy. If you're going that all out to hurt someone,
Yikes.
yeah, woof.
Before they move to the next topic, I wanted to see what the rest they had to say. For those of you that practice magic, you would know, well, that's not true because some of you might not know this. That was a poppet, some form of a poppet of symbolizing one or many of the players. I don't know because magic is all about intent, right? So I don't know what this symbol was, what this symbolism was, what this doll was. It was labeled as a voodoo doll, but we're not going to call it that because that's another inaccurate term. So this doll is a representation of maybe the whole team or maybe an individual player. Don't know. But it's a representation of something. And with that, people assume that poppets, or sometimes they're called dollies, or there's other words for them and I can't think of them right now and it doesn't really matter. But people assume that these things are made to harm when 99.9% of the time they're made to help. And this is the assumption. This is the Christian based. Oh my God, why would you want to hurt somebody? How do you know that's what she was doing? Did she tell you that? Did she say that? Did she demonstrate that? No, just because she's tapping this thing and she's rocking does not mean she's trying to hurt something. It could actually mean she's trying to heal, or she's trying to help, or she's trying to boost good luck, or she's trying to send, strength and power. And like, you don't know. She might actually be doing a spell. It does look like it's probably a spell, but also you don't even know if it actually is a spell. Again, the presumption there, right? Maybe she could be a basic Jane Doe person who just has this superstition and it's not about spell work or magic at all. And she just wants to help her team win. You don't know. So the audacity of presumption is what bothers me so much here. Although she's doing it out in public, so she absolutely is putting herself out there. But also, did she give you permission to record her and post her on YouTube and on Instagram and on TikTok or whatever? Probably not. And now we're laughing at her and we don't even know what the intent was or who this person is or what they were trying to accomplish. This is where my problem is. Yes, when you do things in the public eye, which is what I do, you are putting yourself out there and it can get shared and it can get manipulated and misconstrued, which is why I won't go on somebody else's channel and give my feedback. I'll do it on my own channel. But all of the spells that I have that are about poppets and dollies, which I don't usually work with them very often, but I do have multiple spells about it, are all about healing, protection, abundance, and bringing in good things. They're representations of something. You can make a dolly, a poppet for anything. People that are having a hard time with fertility, people that are struggling with their health. I did one for my mom with her permission. In fact, I did one for my mom to help her with some of her symptoms about halfway through her illness. And she did really well for a while. Of course, magic isn't going to solve cancer, but it was able to help her to some extent. So I did one for the cat too when the cat wasn't well. They don't necessarily automatically mean it's a bad thing. This person literally could be doing something with the intention of, let's help boost up the game. And is Pam, the other thing that cracks me up about Pam is she gets mad about the ego, and if you know, you're not going to be able to do it, and who are you to intervene? But you don't even know what her intention is. And it's harmless if you don't believe in it. Do you believe in it? You don't believe in it. You claim you don't believe in this stuff. So what does it matter? She could be literally just hugging a toy football and rocking and hoping. She, you know, it just, and also people that rock, people that stim like that actually could have just been somebody who has autism or is on the spectrum and needs the sensory. It actually could be that as well. That didn't occur to me until just now, and it's unlikely. But do you know how? I can't tell you how many autistic, more on the severe side, people that I know that rock, that do this, that shake, that play with things, that fidget, like especially in areas that they might be anxious, which is a big crowd. I doubt that's what was happening in this situation. But that's the thing that bothers the whole thing between the taping somebody and they're not aware that they're being taped and posting them publicly online for views to laugh at them, especially to laugh at them, using terminology that you don't know what you're talking about. Voodoo is not accurate. Then on top of that, you don't know what they're actually trying to do. Then shame on these two for laughing at them and saying that that person has some problems. You don't know that. So presumptuous. And this is what I mean by they're definitely coming from more of a Christian mindset, because Christians believe that stuff is not real. And Christians also believe that if you have you shouldn't have an ego at all. We all have an ego. These women have egos. You can see it as they're talking about people. And to judge something you know nothing about is crazy for me. And I mean, I'm judging them for what they've said. So I guess I'm continuing the judgment loop here. But it bothers me because this kind of attitude is what makes people dislike magic and are fearful of it, because these kinds of comments and attitude and thoughts and talk. Okay, we're gonna continue on. Play.
All right. I don't think.
Okay.
I'm not sure what else needs to be said about that. All right, let's go on to the next.
Okay.
I believe this would be the third one. Let's see what we got here.
Okay.
Find you are of it.
Excuse me? Excuse me?
Crystals speak to you. Constantly seek angel numbers. Marilyn, I'm a witch.
Yeah, you
I'm
are.
a witch.
Yeah, you are.
All right.
that has to definitely come from some
Okay.
Christian or Muslim or some sort of background that is not, you know.
Oh.
Someone.
Oh my God. Already I just want to scream. Why? Why does that come from a Christian or Muslim background? Why? Why? That makes no sense to me. Why is that about Christian or Muslim? Because Christian would not say you're a witch if you see angel numbers. No way. Like, that makes no sense. So this is her trying to disassociate herself with the witch term. That's what that is. All right, let's see. Now, Are those 5 signs the only ways to know if you're a witch? Absolutely not. Let me talk about my thoughts about that. What were they? It was the moon. It was healing, animals, angel numbers, and I can't remember the last one, but that doesn't really matter. So all those things, angel numbers, give or take, that's a spiritual thing. Witchcraft, I know a lot of witches that don't believe in angel numbers. I'm not a huge angel numbers person. I actually was more angel numbers when I learned about angels, and I wasn't fully practicing witchcraft at the time than I am now. I'm more earth-based, but I hang out with animals constantly. I prefer animals over people completely. But if you do, that doesn't mean you're necessarily a witch. The moon, I have been a moon baby since day one. I was a little girl, barely 2 years old, telling my mom that the moon follows me everywhere because it loves me. I was obsessed with the moon when I was little. The healing thing, you could be all kinds of different levels of things. You could be anything. You could just be a doctor. You could be into Reiki and not about spell work, and that's fine too. But healing modalities are manipulating energy, which by extension technically is witchcraft. Okay, let's see what these two say. I'm sure it's going to be infuriating.
Religion.
Someone has a very misconstrued
Yes.
definition of witch.
Oh yeah, you
Yes.
too. Both
I
of
would
you
agree
do.
with that. I would agree with that.
Yeah.
I think people think we're witches. But
Yes, you
we-
are.
Well, according
Oh my
to what we
God.
just saw,
True that.
Sorry, guys, there was an ad break. I had to just pause for that. Hold on. I shouldn't say that they are witches because they don't define themselves as such. So I should be careful about that. However, a lot of the stuff that they do is directly parallel to what witches do. So they do dabble in magic. They just don't like to call it that.
so I'm going to say that someone could fit in all of those categories
Mhm.
and not fall into any label
I'll agree with
of
that.
healer,
Right.
of spiritual,
Right.
of metaphysical,
Absolutely.
of magic practitioner.
Yes.
I'll agree with that.
That talk about being in fear. You are in deep fear if you're worried about all those things. Or if you're
Worried
thinking
about those
that,
things.
could you imagine being a child of someone who thought that and you found these pretty rocks and you brought
Worried about those things. I'm not quite sure. Let me let her
them
finish.
home and you said, Mom, look at it. What?
And now all of a sudden you're labeled as a witch.
Yes.
Now,
Oh,
I
okay.
believe that witchcraft has very recently, and maybe it's been since COVID, because there's so much downtime.
Yes.
I think it's been really romanticized.
Oh, yes.
A lot of young people, I believe, have been really impressioned by whether they're truly witch practitioners
Yes.
or just someone who thinks it's cool to be called a witch.
Right. And
That
and
they have-
sorry, go ahead.
No, there is a lot of that, and I have the feeling that that's kind of where that definition has come from.
I do want to comment on what she just said because she's not wrong. I don't disagree with her. I want to be careful how I say it though, because she said that people suddenly are labeling themselves a witch because it's cool. There is some of that. I have seen some of that for sure. I have seen a witchcraft being accepted more, exploding in same things with psychics and readings and metaphysical stuff since COVID. I agree with that. In fact, I've seen a lot of COVID readers, and I think I've talked about this before, but I don't really want to go down that rabbit hole right now. That's not what this whole thing is about. So I don't completely disagree with what Marilyn just said. However, I also want to say people like me who have been a practitioner for 20 something years, but wasn't super public about it, was actually quite quiet about it. Don't really like calling myself a psychic. In fact, I did a whole video about that. It's on my YouTube channel if you want to go find that. It's an old one, but it's there because there's a stigma to it. And really, a lot of us started to be more comfortable going public. I didn't go public. My mom knew what I dabbled in, but I didn't really go public until 2019, 2020, when I was doing it for my business, when I was sharing my business, when I was doing the YouTube channel. Like, I kept that very quiet, especially in my family, because I didn't know how it would be. Like, my grandmother, my aunts, like, I didn't know how it would be received, and I didn't want to listen. Now, 5 years later, 6, 7 years later, I know that I'm accepted. But back then, I was very like cautious about what my family would know. And it just, it literally, a lot of people that, have jumped on the witchcraft bandwagon, many of them may just have been like me, keeping it more private because people looked their noses down at it and they didn't want the public issues with it. Some, maybe it's more like there's a lot more information. The problem is there's so much information. There's a lot of misinformation out there now, but information is so much more accessible than it once was. So like when I was a practicing witch, when I was learning about witchcraft, when I was 14, 15, 16 years old in high school in like 1990, I don't know, 6 maybe. The places I could learn about it was at the Barnes and Nobles in the witchy new age section in Barnes and Nobles. I wasn't allowed to bring books home. I lived in a Catholic household. They weren't in the library. The internet was just getting started back then. So there were no such thing as smartphones or apps. So back then, that kind of stuff was very private, and mostly because the way to access that information wasn't easy, especially if you didn't come from a lineage of where it was shared. So yes, there are people that have jumped on the witchcraft bandwagon because it's cool. Absolutely, it has been. But there's also a lot of people that have started to go more public because it's cool, because it's not because it's cool, but because it's accepted now. All right, let's keep going.
And I'm going to say, what I want to say is, it's not just a belief. During COVID, we got called so often. Kids, it was from parents, or we even got some really scared kids that called us a few times that they had done something.
Yep.
And most of it was more, they called in paranormal things, like, earthies.
Through anime.
Yes.
Through the doorway of anime.
Yes.
Yeah.
We were hopping there for a little bit.
We were.
Yes. Toward the end of middle to end of COVID. Yeah. It was. So it's not just, I want to make sure that it's not just you going, so
through anime. No explanation there. We're just going to say that that people have called in paranormal entities through anime and not explain that. Okay.
Well, I think that maybe we've had a lot of experience.
Right. There was a lot of things that got
and kids were looking
rekindled
for
during
something.
COVID.
Yes.
Yeah.
Kids were and adults. There were adults that were doing it too.
Sure.
Looking for some sort of control, looking for something to make them feel alive and human, and just sort of
connected.
And connected. That's yes, connected. Yeah. And a lot of them turn to that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
No.
Excuse me, guys. If you know what the heck she's talking about with calling in things through anime, can you comment? I've never heard of such a thing. I'm not saying it's not possible. I literally have zero knowledge about it. So it could be possible and I have no information on it. And this is the difference between me and them. I don't pretend to know stuff when I don't know stuff. I don't assume. I don't know. I've never even heard of that before. Have you guys heard of that before? What is that? Looks like I'm actually, do I have a pen? I'm going to write it down right now. I'm going to have to do some research on that because I really don't know what the heck they're talking about. Are they just being extra that we don't, that, you should stay away from anime, or like they're claiming, and when they say earthies, they mean human spirits. They mean ghosts is what they mean when they use the term earthy, which I had to figure out. Anime calling in spirits. I have no idea. I'm gonna have to look into that for sure. All right, let's keep going.
And no.
And no. All right, let's see what's next. I think this would be number 4. Signs you're under witchcraft attack.
Signs you are
under a witchcraft attack. You start getting tormented. You start having scary or disturbing dreams. Everything starts going wrong at once. Sudden, mysterious illnesses.
Okay.
Sure.
There was an ad break.
Yes, and there are other things it could be.
So many things.
So
Yeah,
this
I
is
agree
one
with
thing that we deal with often is people will contact us and think that they're under witchcraft attack like that.
Mhm.
And through the healing, we'll give them a healing because that's what they're asking for. And we give them that healing. And it really wasn't witchcraft. Sometimes, is there some of it? Yes. All witchcraft that sort of really takes hold and attacks your wounding, it just sort of amplifies your wounding. So one way or the other, you need a healing. But oftentimes it's not witchcraft at all. Your wounding is coming up and you might see something like this, or someone says, oh, it has to be, let's not take responsibility for our own life and let's just blame it on something else. And then it becomes sort of this, but most of the time that's like wounding coming up. Things are happening in your life. You're unable to, maybe your coping skills aren't that great, or you haven't had, whatever. I mean, there are lots of things. So,
and those are still possible signs that you are under attack by a witch.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And so many more. There is not one thing that is definitively you're under attack.
No.
Nothing. There is
I agree with that.
at all.
And
but people like to
we have
say
also come across witchcraft and the person didn't know it. Like,
yes,
that, where it's like, oh,
yes,
where did this come from? Like, we're giving them a healing for something totally unrelated, and it's like, whoo, yow, someone put this there. Oftentimes it's something that really didn't have an effect on the person at all. A witch did some sort of spell or curse or whatever they call it, and sort of did an implant, and we take that. It really had no effect, but that can happen too.
It can.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Or it just lays dormant until the moon comes up. Yeah.
Yep.
Woof.
Yep. Because any type of magic that is cast on you or sent at you, you have to be in some way a willing participant to accept that.
Yes.
And being in your wounding, unfortunately, being in your wounding, you let down all your defenses and you open yourself to it, and boom.
And I will say, it's in some cultures. Like, you think, why is this culture? Why is everyone under attack? Why is everyone? Because they absolutely have that belief, and so they're wide open to that belief. They're wide open to receive and accept what's coming at them.
Right. Right.
And you do have to accept it. And there's lots of witchy ways they can get you to accept things. Accept it. But usually,
I think it's interesting that they're saying you do have to accept it. So I don't agree with that. And I also find it interesting that they claim they don't do magic. They don't know much about magic. They don't know much about spell work, but they know you have to accept it. How? How do you know that? I can tell you for sure there's been several spells that I've done, mostly return to senders or some karma spells that have been sent to people that they definitely didn't accept it, but it still did its job anyway. So I don't agree with that.
it's their wounding.
Mm-hmm.
And oftentimes the witch doesn't even know what your wounding is. They're just doing some selfish something, and it just happens to land that time. I would like to speak to an honest witch.
Oh, this must be what happened.
Does nefarious things, put spells on people. I'd like to know, how often does it really work? If they would even be honest about it or even know. So, yeah, I would like to know that. So if any of you know someone, or if you're someone who
This
sends
must
spells
be
out on
great.
people, whether it's for money or whatever it is, I'd love to hear how often you think that it and be honest, how much you really see that person affected by exactly what you sent out.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It'd be interesting.
Yeah, it would.
Right.
This must be the video of why that viewer sent me an email about this channel. But the viewer made them sound non-judgmental, and clearly that's the opposite of the truth. As somebody, so to answer that question that she just said, I don't keep a log. Like, I can't tell. It's not like a scoreboard or a game point match where it's like, okay, I got 9 wins and 2 losses. I don't do that. What I do is I track what has worked, so I can keep track and use that again. I know this works. I also have not been doing spell work on others for quite a while now. And she means nefarious, like cursing and hexing, or bending will. And I haven't done a lot of those, especially over the last several years, last year and a half at least, because my focus has not been on the outside. It's been on me and my family. I've done multiple freezer spells, and every freezer spell I've ever done, except for one, worked. There was only one time it didn't work. And when I say multiple, at least 10 or 15, maybe even more than that. 20, 25 at least of the freezer spell that's on my channel. And it has worked every single time except for once out of all the times I've ever done it. So track record, I don't know what you'd say percentage wise. I'd say 95%. I've gotten they've all played out as intended. But that spell, if you watch the video, is about sending something away. Sending this person, it was mostly, I used it particularly around difficult areas in work, and sending the person away, letting them find what they need so they can go away. And I even taught a few people that spell in my personal life that don't follow me on YouTube, and they used it and it worked great for them as well. So I honestly believe it's based on the quality of the spell and the quality of the intention and the focus, because I've also done that hex spell that's on my channel, and that one's a slow burn. That one takes time before you see the evidence. I don't remember when I did the spell on my neighbor. I want to say it was 2 or 3 years ago now. And within the last 6 months, he's been diagnosed with MS and now he can't walk. Is that because of the spell? I mean, he was fine before, and now he's miserable, and he's not able, he's in crutches. He can't walk half the time. He's quiet. My main goal was to get him to leave me alone because he wouldn't stop bullying me. And it wasn't so much to cause harm to him as much to get him to go away and leave me alone. It worked. It worked in an extreme way, which is why you got to be careful when you use that spell, but it worked. And I've done a few other things too. I did a lemon separation spell, which was in my members only community. And yeah, they've worked. They have. So it's too much of a coincidence for certain things to happen the way that they play out without being like, oh my God, yeah, that's definitely what's going on. But when you do spell work on people that are at a distance from you, it's not always easy to monitor what the result is. Not always. Return to sender spell, I have a really good one there that worked so well that the person ended up losing everything, and because they were trying to hex a bunch of us, and that went really well. As far as like we sent it back. But It really, and that one was a very, very, very simple spell. It was set it and forget it and keep moving. So it depends. It depends on where the spell work comes from. It depends on your intention. Most of my intention when I do nefarious spell work is because I'm at my wit's end and I've done so much in the real world already. I always do real world solutions first for a long time. And then when it gets to a place of where that's not working, it's still not working, and I can't do anything, there's nothing else I can do to make this situation better, that's when I'll take the next step. But it's not something that I jump to. It's not something I take lightly, and I'm very cautious about it when I do it. So those are the advisements I would give you guys if you are into practicing that kind of spell work, because it could get potentially sent back to you, and you need to be careful about that.
Yeah.
On to the next, I think.
Okay.
Generational curses and spiritual.
Witchcraft is real. And the only reason why a generational curse is capable of plaguing an entire bloodline for centuries is because we are not equipped to engage in spiritual warfare.
Could you replay that?
Yes. Yes. I think I need it replayed as well, because there's something that's not adding up here.
Witchcraft is real. And the only reason why a generational curse is capable of plaguing an entire bloodline for centuries is because we are not equipped to engage
Doing
in
with her
spiritual
hand.
warfare.
We're both a little stymied here.
Well, I don't agree with her verbiage.
Verbiage, here we go.
I don't either.
However,
That's what stymieing me bit is the verbiage. However,
I hate to say that I do believe that a generational curse can affect the bloodline going on and on and on and on and on. It's because the inability to take personal responsibility and heal your wounding.
heal your shit, people. Yes. Yes. And it's really very much like any emotional, like, I don't want to piss people off when I say this. So, like depression. I'm going to use this as an example. Can depression run in families? Yes, it can. However, one of the things that gets passed down is the belief in I am depressed and there's nothing I can do. And the set and everything that goes along with that. And you pass that belief system on to the next and the next and the next. And
so if you have a curse
Yeah.
and that curse is taught,
yes,
we are cursed.
Yes.
Sure.
Actually, I think I'm going to let them finish.
Yes.
Not only is it going to survive, it's going to grow. It's going to expand.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
But not because we're not equipped to engage in spiritual warfare.
To me, spiritual warfare, that says kind of what we do. At times we have to sort of, people call us in because they've got entities, they have witches, they have stuff going on in their home that's attacking them. And we come in and we close that door. We come in to say, it stops now. That's a form of spiritual warfare. We are going up against them and saying, not happening anymore.
So I guess her verbiage. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I mean, if that.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't think I would use that verbiage. And I don't use that verbiage. That's not verbiage that
I wouldn't use that verbiage.
Right.
Verbiage.
When I think
go ahead.
When I think of spiritual warfare, I think of something different than the way she's using it.
Magic has so much ego involved.
Oh, yes.
And that's exactly what this generational wounding happens anyway.
Yes, it does.
You add a thread of possible witchcraft in there.
Yes.
Yeah. Own your shit.
That's really what it is.
Take responsibility.
And
heal.
And find who you are. When you find your true nature, when you find who you are and you stand in that ownership.
Yes.
Yeah. And that's easier said than done.
I don't even know where she's going with this. Before I lose my thoughts, I want to talk about what she said at the beginning about the depression thing. Terrible example, and she's right. She's going to piss a lot of people off about that, including myself, because as you guys know, I'm depressed. My mother was not. My father was not. My mother may have had mild depression, but she never said or believed or admitted that she had depression. Her mother did not have it. My grandfather did not have it. So this whole example of it runs in families, it can run in families. I have cousins that struggle with it more than the generation above us, and that's not generational. I mean, what she should have said, she shouldn't have used depression as an example. She should have said learned helplessness. That's what she should have said, and I think that's what she was trying to say, but she said it in a terrible way. Learned helplessness, meaning I can't, there's nothing I can do. I'm poor. I can't do anything about it. I don't have an education. I can't do anything about it. I'm miserable. I can't do anything about it. I'm fat. I can't do anything about it. I'm skinny. I can't do anything about it. Something like that. That is passed down through generations. This learned helplessness, also enabling as well, gets passed down too. And so the own your shit, I agree with it. The way that she's talking about it, I don't agree with the way that her approach to this conversation is. But we do pass down generation to generation certain beliefs, and whether that some families believe they have a curse on them, and then you can kind of perpetuate it because you're creating it by your mindset, and you're calling stuff in. Is it necessarily a curse? No, but you can be like, oh, I have the worst luck, and if you say that over and over and over again, you're going to give yourself bad luck. Like, you got to be careful. One thing I say to my clients all the time, when especially clients that are in the poor me mindset, which we all have at some point or another for one reason or another, but I have certain clients that get stuck in that loop of poor me, poor me, poor me. I'm never going to find a man. It's never going to work out. There's no good men out there. Whatever. When you put that out there over and over and over again, you're just calling that into you. You're perpetuating it. You need to change yourself if you want different results. And that is just psychology, psychiatry, law of attraction, law of detachment, energy work. I mean, that's not spiritual warfare. That's not generational curses. Some, you can break generational curses or generational wounding that gets passed down. Every family has something that gets passed down. In my family, it's people pleasing. That's a big one. People pleasing is a huge one in my family. And what would your grandmother think? And what would your aunties think? And be a good girl and make sure that you're helping others. And, that's a big thing where you're raised, or I was raised to believe that I'm here to do for others, and my needs and values don't really matter as much. And it wasn't an intentional programming. It was more a side effect from the programming. So that kind of stuff happens, and that doesn't mean that there's a curse. I don't know how I feel about generational curses. I don't have much experience with them. And I've talked about this in other videos. I don't have much experience with them. So I really can't make an opinion either way because of that. But with my limited information that I have, I don't think that they are as frequent as the internet wants us to believe. I think that's the best way to say it. All right, let's keep going.
I know.
Yes. And when you heal and you are involved in something, not everything is generational.
No.
Not everything is. And I know that there are people that believe it to be true. It's not.
Yes.
But when you're able to find yourself and start healing and take responsibility for you in your life right now,
yes,
it helps everyone else down the line.
Yep, it does. Yes. Because there is an energetic piece to it. 100%.
Mhm.
100%. And with every energetic piece, we have to decide to accept that or not accept it.
Mhm.
And we have to decide to do something about it or not.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
And that's true whether you're talking about accepting magic
Mhm.
or healing.
absolutely. It's all
Doesn't matter.
energy. It's all energy.
All energy. Yeah.
100%. 100%. So
Yeah.
yeah, that was a good one actually. That
That was a good one.
Yeah.
That was like, wait a
Yeah.
minute. What?
Can I say that again? Yes.
It just didn't, her verbiage just
Yeah.
so threw me.
Yes. Yes. Yeah, that was a good one actually. That was
That was a good one.
Yeah.
That was like, wait
Yeah.
a minute. What?
Can I say that again? Yes.
It just didn't, her verbiage just
Yeah.
so threw me.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
So if spiritual warfare means now, if in context of what she said, if spiritual warfare means yes,
Good point.
that I'm going to find out who I am, and that only comes from spirit. And whatever verbiage you want to put on God, spirit, the universe, Gaia, whatever, when you can tap into who you really are and put your foot down and say no, I can see where that would be a spiritual. You could call it that.
I got the hit. That is not what she's talking about at all.
Oh, what did you get?
Well, I don't have a definitive,
Mhm.
but she's talking about fighting fire with fire.
See, that was how I took it the very first when she said it. Yes. Yes. We don't even do that when we go in
No.
and clear things up. Yes.
Because there is two vibrations. There is fear and there is love.
Yep. And we're working in love, baby.
We work in love, and that is the only way to overcome fear.
Yep.
Work in
Absolutely.
love by scaring
line.
others.
So now
To use
witches
your
with
love.
each other, ooh, there's some spiritual warfare. That when I think of spiritual warfare, they battle the shit out of each other. I mean, they're in it to hurt each other, to ruin each other's lives and so forth, and other people around. Yeah, it's awful. It's gross. All right.
Interesting.
That I feel like is she's watched too many Hollywood movies. I've been rewatching some Hollywood shows that I've loved that have witchcraft in them, like Charmed, the old one, the original. And what else have I started rewatching? The Witches of East End. Witches of East End. Yeah, the show, Witches of East End. I feel like that's what she's watched too much TV. That's what it feels like here.
Okay, that was good.
That was my favorite one.
That was good.
One that really got me to think the most.
Yeah.
All right. So let's do another one. For beginner witches.
5 tips for beginner witches. You don't have to start with crystals. There's some parts where crystals are not a big thing at all, so don't feel like you have to use crystals if you don't want to. Don't spend all your money on expensive supplies. Witchcraft is all about intent, not about how expensive your items are. You don't need to spend hundreds and hundreds on witchy supplies.
Like,
Everyone's
what do you
path
think
is
so
different.
far?
Don't listen to the masses when they tell you that you're doing your path wrong. Every single witchy path is different. It's important to listen to elders, but know when you're being gatekeeped. Don't assume all witches are Wiccan. While they are similar, witches, pagan, and Wiccans are actually all different paths. Research more about each path before you start calling yourself one or the other. Don't jump on the witchy aesthetic bandwagon. Sure, the aesthetic looks cool, but most of what witchcraft isn't what you see on Instagram and TikTok. Always be genuine in your approach to witchcraft.
I love
Well,
everything she said.
That is not what I was expecting.
Me either. And yeah, I mean that can apply to what we. How many times do we tell people very similar about your spiritual path is your own, and you find your own, and you don't have to have a bunch of expensive tools. You don't have. I mean, yeah.
And for the record, runes do not mean witchcraft.
No.
She had a picture of runes back there.
Oh.
No, but some
Yes.
witches use
I'm a little bit
Just
mind
like
fucked right now.
tarot.
Yes.
Because I was not expecting.
No.
Oh wow!
And yes, it is about
wasn't.
intent. She got that right. I mean, like that could really.
They're shocked. They're flabbergasted because what she said was so good. They can't believe it. Everything she said, I agree with, and I've said on my channel multiple times.
Apply to a lot of things, not just witchy stuff.
Anything.
Yeah, because God
Yeah.
forbid
Um,
Pam
you know,
associates with witchcraft.
You take out her descriptors, witchcraft, Wiccan, pagan.
Mhm.
Okay. Healer, psychic, medium.
Yeah, absolutely.
They are all different.
Yes.
Each path you need. I mean, I don't need to go into all that. I'm just stymied. I am so blown away.
Yeah. Yeah.
That is just, I really hate to say this, but that's just good life advice.
Absolutely. 100%.
It is just good life
Yes.
advice.
Now, she's someone that I could probably get along with. I don't know if she calls herself a witch or not. I think she probably does.
Of course she
It probably
does.
would depend on what her intent is in her practice.
I think this is so funny because Pam is so utterly surprised about that message being pleasant and being, accurate and pleasant and well done. Those are the kinds of people that I generally interact with. This video that they're reacting to, those are the kinds of witches that I know, that I associate myself with. People that are like that. People that align with how I act and speak and talk and all that. So it's just cracking me up because I have said from the beginning that I have a feeling Pam doesn't know as many witches as she makes it sound like, hasn't had as much experience as she's making it sound like, and hasn't really done enough research around it. And I'm pretty sure that this is proving my point right here, because she's shocked that there's somebody that would say something like this out there in the world. Lots of us talk like that. Lots of us. More of us than not.
Yes.
Yeah. But
It's everything she said was absolutely true.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. Even the aesthetic, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Don't have to fall into I have to wear this or I have to have this or no. You
have to look this way. I have to.
No.
But I gotta pause this. Hold on. But in the previous video that I did a reaction to, there was something about they all wear black, and Pam was right on that bandwagon that every witch wears black. By the way, today I'm wearing green, and I didn't think about it. It's just what I happen to have on. So, yeah.
Ready for the next
Let's move on.
All right, I lost track somewhere. I think there's.
Do you remember Stump the Jock?
Boy, that sounds familiar.
Well, because it's decades old.
Yeah, but it sounds awfully familiar.
It's like you ask. They would ask.
All right, let's keep going. Come on, ladies.
I don't even remember where it came from, but they would ask the guy a question, and he was supposed to know it. And when he got stymied, boy, it was hilarious. Well, I feel like I just got stumped.
Nice.
As, we're unmasking magic here, and we get this clip, and it's like
the clarity was.
And you got to say, well, damn, that's advice.
Yeah, truth is true. Yeah.
Unmasking magic. Are you though? Because there's a lot you don't know. Ignorantly unmasking magic, apparently.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I hope more people listen to her. People that are going into whatever it is, witchy stuff. They listen to that. Listen to that.
God, that's what most people do listen to.
She could go off. If we listen to her more, she could be totally off the rails. I don't know. But just from that clip, she sounds very reasonable. And truth.
Yeah, that's what most of us are like.
Yeah.
Do your research.
All right. Next one. Are witches real though?
People think witchcraft isn't real. Okay. Give me a piece of your hair. Find out if witchcraft isn't real.
Here's a handful of pubes.
Of course, there was a
do with this?
commercial. All right, since I'm editing, I'm gonna rewind and do that again. Let's see.
Real.
Let's try that again.
Give me a piece of your hair. Find out if witchcraft isn't real.
Here's a handful of pubes. See what you can do with this.
Okay.
Okay. Whoever put that clip in there, you know our sense of humor so well. Like you, that was so not offensive. That was hilarious.
Hilarious.
That was really funny.
And no, I'm not giving you my hair.
No. And that is one thing that witches do with spells and curses and whatever. They get a piece of you. They'll go through your garbage. Which would be murder for me, right? Because my hair falls out constantly. My hair's ever.
They go through your garbage. How many witches out there have gone through other people's garbage? Because I know I sure haven't. And I've done a spell on somebody that lives right next door. I've never gone through anybody's garbage ever. Is that a thing that many of you do? Because I sure as heck don't. This is hair, and I want to say I did a whole video on that. I'm going to double check right now before I say that for sure. But I want to say that I did a whole video on tag locks, and hair is considered a tag lock. Tag lock. Hold on, let me see. Tag lock. I thought I did. Did I? Yep, I did. It's called What Are Tag Locks? I will link it in the description box below. But basically, tag locks are a way to anchor the spell to a person. But what cracks me up with these two is I'll never give you my hair. But Pam doesn't believe that spell work works. So what does it matter if somebody gets your hair? It's exactly, the pube thing was hilarious, but you can actually do spell work with pubes. But I mean, that was playful and that was funny. But the actual girl who was like, you don't believe in witchcraft? Give me some of your hair. Yeah, because hair ties the spell to the actual individual that you're doing the spell on, not necessarily negative. Could be a health spell, could be a abundance spell, could be a help them with fertility spell. Doesn't necessarily mean it's not a negative thing at all. It can be, but it's a neutral thing as far as that's concerned. But the thing that cracks me up is Pam has repeatedly said that spells don't work, but she doesn't want anybody to have her hair. Well, why does it matter if anybody has your hair? Because if a spell doesn't work, if spells don't work, if spells aren't real, if magic isn't real, then somebody having your hair, it's harmless, right? So she literally just proved the girl's point in the beginning of the video. Oh, you don't believe in magic? Give me your hair. And this one, I don't want anybody to have my hair. Yeah, because you know that it's actually real and you don't want to admit it. Oh boy.
Where I go, you know where I've been. You can get some of my hair.
Yeah, my husband will be like, "Oh, Pam's been here, huh?" Pam was there today.
Yep. Oh my God, that was hilarious. Woo.
Wow.
Woo. Ha. And that well, I wouldn't be. I'm not afraid of them, but certainly that little girl with you saw her ego. If she was like, okay, then give me some of your, like, she was just so
Yes.
ego driven that she
Yes.
that person is going to
She's
get her
being
ass
playful, is what she's
energetically. Like,
And no, she
someone is
won't.
going to put her in her place, and it's going to smart.
Not
Yes,
true.
smart.
She will
Bigly.
be protected.
Yeah,
Protect.
I agree.
Well,
So
hold on. Actually, let me speak on that. That just because somebody, like, I think it's so funny that they're saying that this girl has major ego, but at the same time, you have ego about healing others. You have ego about clearing things out. You have ego. So, like I said, everybody has ego, but the way that they're saying it, it's very like, it's negative. That girl, I didn't see her as egotistical. In fact, she was just proving a point that magic was real. That's all she was saying. And to say that she's going to get her ass whooped, why? How could you jump to that conclusion? You don't know what spell work she's doing. You don't know if she's protecting herself or not. You don't know anything about her except for this one little teeny tiny 5-second clip. She could have very good protection. She could be not doing any kind of baneful magic. And the stuff that she does with hair could actually be with permission and a good thing that she does for people. So again, jumping to conclusions with just this much information that she's obviously going to do something terrible and it's going to slap her in the face. Somebody's going to come give her retribution. Who's going to give her retribution? You don't even know what she's doing. That's my issue. That's fear. That's Christian based. That's, oh my God, you're going to get punished by God. You're going to get punished. You're going to get punished. You don't even know what she's doing. Oh, she made a joke about taking your hair and doing spell. She didn't even say what spell. She didn't say what the hair was. She didn't say what it was for. She didn't say any of that, but she's going to get punished. Christian, tell me it's not.
And yeah, please don't give your hair. Please don't give your blood.
Yeah.
to
Oh, but
people.
magic's not real.
First of all, doing it. First of all,
Actually, hold on. DNA is a real thing, though. Magic is as well, but people can use your hair for your stuff for DNA. So, but again, that's insane paranoia and totally unnecessary.
you're giving permission. You give them any sort of anything, even, I don't know, a grocery bag. It doesn't matter.
Right?
You're giving them permission. You're allowing them to energetically come into your space.
Yeah.
It's never a good idea.
And I don't care.
And I don't care if you're a psychic. I don't care if that person, whatever that person, no, because that's
It
really,
doesn't matter if it's for good, it
Nope.
doesn't matter.
no,
Mm-mm.
no, this is not just in that situation. Yeah, anytime. Yeah. All right.
Take ownership of you.
So close-minded.
Whew. Whoever said
That was
thank
funny.
you. That was really, and I love, it was like, was he have like a wig in his hand or something? All right. Let's try next one.
Okay.
Another
Simple
commercial.
protection spell. Okay.
Okay.
Y'all just ever have someone that you know is wishing and bringing negativity upon you, and you just need them to leave you alone, like now, right? I got you with a really simple protection/banishment spell.
Protection and banishment are
What
different.
you'll need is a small jar with a cork, 7 needles, rosemary, a pen, and either a bay leaf or parchment paper, and a black candle. Write on the parchment paper or bay leaf the name of the person or people that you're needing protection from. When you're done with that, fold the paper away from you 3 times and place it into the jar. After that, you're going to pick up 1 needle at a time. You're going to state something like, I need these people pretending to be me away from me because they are causing harm to my livelihood. And say something different with each needle. When you're done, place the rosemary at least halfway up the jar and then cork the top.
All right.
Okay. First of all, those weren't needles.
No, they were not. No, they were not.
Wow. Talk about nitpicking. Okay, so for spell work, generally speaking, needles and pins, they can be interchanged. Lots of ingredients can be interchanged. Okay? A lot of it is all about intention. She didn't do any kind of charging though for that spell. There's a lot I could say about the spell, and there's a lot of I could say about these two. I would say that that was more of a protection spell than a banishing spell, because banishing is like really, really harsh getting rid of somebody. That could be me splitting hairs though. Rosemary does protect. Needles or pins, I'm not quite sure what their representation is. I'd have to try to she didn't explain that at all. So I'm not sure what they were supposed to be representing. Nails, iron nails, are often used in spells to protect. Iron is used to protect. I'm not sure what the purpose of those needles were. The parchment paper, it was accurate of folding it away from you, putting it in the jar, covering it with rosemary for protection. I don't know. And the number 7 is a spiritual number that is used a lot in baneful magic. It's not the only number though. Didn't show what the black candle was. She said you need a black candle. She didn't show the black candle. So the spell generally is probably a good one. I'm not sure what the intent was with the needle, with the pins needles. Would have been nice to have a little bit more explanation there so that I could actually analyze it. Unfortunately, I don't know what the intent was with those, so I can't. I've never used pins or needles in that capacity in a spell. I've used them in other ways to pierce things. So I can't comment on that. Let's see what these two cookies have to say. Oh boy,
Those are
here we
pins.
go.
I think there's an actual name for them with the things on the end, right? I don't know. Anyway, what happened to just using your words? What happened to owning your shit, to just standing here and say, hey, whatever you're doing, I don't particularly care for it. I'd like you to stop.
Right?
Hello? Like we're adults here. This is, why would you go and that shit doesn't work. So it just doesn't work. And I know
it doesn't work. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. But don't give anybody your hair. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. But don't give anybody your blood. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. But your wounds accept the spell. So contradictory. Make up your mind. Does it work or not? It's one or the other.
people are probably out there screaming, yes, it does. Okay. One thing we often talk about with
Well, not if you don't use needles.
I know.
Also, not true. You can change items.
Yes, those were not needles.
Oh my God. Sorry.
No, it's just something that we always talk about because of what we do for a living. As soon as you say you need protection, you have changed your vibration to attract things that you need to be protected from.
True.
I don't care all those words that you put, those pins.
Not true. if you're saying you need protection or you want protection, I have all different things around my home for protection. I don't say I need protection. I use it in case. It's a prophylactic. Prophylactic? Did I just say that right? I think so. It's in case. I'm so bad with words. It's just in case. It's not with the intent of, oh my God, I need to be protected because something's going to happen. If you come at it from that sense, from a fear-based sense of, oh my God, bad's going to happen. Yeah, you can track that to you. But, and I talked about this in the previous video, I think, but if you're protecting just to have protection, you're fine. Like, again, very black and white.
thing. Straight pins, I think they're called.
Matter.
That it's just ridiculous. It's just ridiculous. Use your words. Grow up.
Most people
Seriously.
do use their words
and use
before
your
doing
words and
that.
say no.
I
This
can't
is not
speak for that witch particularly.
How exhausting.
So exhausting.
But like
Yes.
I
And then when you're
said,
supposed to carry that around all the time, and that gets you.
Like I said, when I did the hex on my neighbor, I talked to him. I talked to his kids. I talked to his wife. I gave it years. I pleaded. I talked again. I tried to be nice. I tried to be mean. I tried all the things except for taking legal action, which I actually could not take because he's BFF with all of the police in the area. So, but the harassment was insane. And so then I took the next steps, but most proper witches. So there are a lot out there that are new or that jump into it and they don't have proper guidance or they don't do good research. That's why I've always said, if you're starting out, don't start out doing spell work, start out learning the basics. Start out learning the basics. Do not jump into spell work right away because you might not know what you're doing. Like you don't have the foundation of something. You can't do division if you don't know how to add and subtract, right? So same thing. You need to get the basics down. So I don't know about this particular person that just did that spell. I know nothing about her. So I don't know if she is a seasoned witch. I don't know if she is a newbie. I don't know anything about her. So I don't know where her philosophy comes from. That's one of the things that's difficult with this. I would never just judge someone based on a 20-second video because there's so much information that we don't know that's going on there. There's so much more. And I don't know if that's my neurospicy energy, thinking that way, but there's so many more details. Like I know nothing else about this witch. So, and neither do these women. You don't know, but that's the problem with social media and doing 30-second videos is people don't get all the information, but they want the short videos, but they don't have all the information. So like this girl didn't explain where she was coming from, why the nails or the pins or whatever you want to call them, why they were being used, why was it the number 7? Like when I teach, I go into depth so that you understand every single reason why. When you go and watch some of my other spell videos, you will see I explain each ingredient and why I'm using it. So does she just not, I don't know anything about this girl. I don't know about her teaching skills. I don't know about any of it. Yeah. Oh my God, I'm getting tired. I gotta wrap this up. But yeah, this I'm not sure. I don't know anything, but there could be a lot more information to this practitioner than what these two are jumping to conclusions about.
You think about it all the time. It gets you ruminating about it. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
That is just so, see, that's the type of witchcraft. It's just silly. It's just silly.
What if I'm out of rosemary? Can I use time?
Oh my God. There was just a commercial that interrupted it, but she just said, Marilyn just said, what if I'm out of rosemary? Can I use thyme? And they're laughing. That's nothing to laugh at because those are what real witches ask. If you go and look at my Baneful Magic series and look in the comments, There are a bazillion questions about, I don't have cayenne pepper. I use this instead. Is this okay? I did that instead. I didn't have regular vinegar. I had this vinegar. Is that okay? I didn't have this. I did that instead. Is that okay? Like, beginning witches have so many questions like that. And if you have those kinds of questions, it's usually because you haven't done your proper, you haven't learned enough yet. You haven't done the proper education around it. And that's okay. That's everybody's journey is their own. But that's why I highly recommend to learn before you do the magic. Because if you're doing the magic, you have questions like that. They think it's hilarious, but it's similar to recipes. It's similar to that. If you're going to use rosemary for protection, again, I don't know the entire intention on that spell, but if you were going to use rosemary for protection and you don't have rosemary, you might want to use salt or another protection herb. There's other protection herbs out there. I don't believe thyme is one of them. I honestly don't know off the top of my head. I have encyclopedias that I look the stuff up because I literally am so bad with memorization that I don't have things memorized, and I'll never pretend to know everything because I just don't. But like, these two think it's so funny, but that's a question that comes up a lot in spell work.
Parsley, sage.
And a needle. 5 or 7 or whatever it was. Like, come on. Oh my God.
Woo!
That's the kind of stuff. Why are you spending so much of your time and energy on that? Really? Like, seriously, like, right?
That was 30 seconds.
So you don't care for someone. Maybe you have a bully in your midst, whatever. We've all had that happen, like at a job or whatever. The best way to handle a bully is to tell that bully to back off. I'm not having it. And then you leave it there and you walk away. The more you think about it, you're carrying that thing around and you're thinking about it and that's only drawing it to you.
That is the most old school toxic thinking ever. That works for some bullies. That does not work for all bullies. In fact, some bullies really get off on that, and it only makes them do more.
More. I mean, it's just silly. This is just
not silly.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Whatever.
Okay. I really don't have anything else to say about that unless you do.
Thank God.
No.
How to curse someone.
Oh dear.
Oh
How to
God.
curse someone, hypothetically speaking, of course. They say curses are just superstition. That's what they told the last person who tried this. And well, you know the rest. You'll need 3 things: a strand of hair, a name written in ink, and a drop of your own fluid. Not much. Just enough to
Oh,
make it
they're gonna
personal.
hate this.
Step 1. At exactly 3:03 a.m., place the item on a surface. Light a black candle, and let the flame flicker against their reflection. If they're not nearby, write their full name across the glass. Step 2. Say exactly this: do not mess it up. I trade peace for justice, silence for retribution. Let them feel what they gave. Then smear the fluid over the name and break it. But only once. A single fracture is enough. Within a few days, they'll begin to notice. Keys vanishing, mirrors randomly cracking. Maybe some people may start vanishing from their life. But remember, curses are not without risk. And if someone ever curses you, well, that's a different ritual entirely, probably.
I'm not even sure where to start. Although I loved all the pictures. All those pictures were awesome. I'm not even sure. Again, obsessed much? Like, get the fuck over it. And why are you cursing someone? Like, what is that?
Well, that was
Get
done in jest, right?
I don't know.
I think that was satire.
Was it? Okay.
I agree with Mary Lynn. That was being very sarcastic and playful. It has to be at exactly 3:03 a.m. That person is gone now. Like, it was very sarcastic. I agree with Mary Lynn. I think it was playful and it was being silly. I don't feel like it was doing a full blown, don't do that. That's not a spell. That's playful. So please don't go out and do that thinking you're cursing somebody.
I took it as satire and I thought it was
Yeah.
hilarious.
Okay, well, satire is hilarious. If they're serious, get in your own lane. Just mind your own damn business.
Sam is so
Get
ready
over
to
it.
just mow
Yeah.
over people.
Yeah.
Wow. Again, though,
There's so many negative
even if
people
it's not
out there.
satire comes from somewhere, right?
Yes.
Being
Satire-
playful.
There had to be a basis for that to happen in the first place.
Gosh.
And here's the thing: the more you spend time thinking about someone, the more it's like a volcano, and the more it just bubbles
But
and
it
warms
was
up and
playful.
becomes an obsession and part of like adults. Come on, use your words. No, there are other ways. And yes, there's going to be someone that said, "Well, I used my words," or "I knew someone that did that," and then it just got worse. Well, you think a curse is going to make it better? No, it doesn't.
It actually
For
does.
anyone and for you, why do you want to spend that much time? So, you know, what just came to mind is trauma bonding.
Yeah.
There's some trauma bonding there.
Yeah.
Possibly on both parts or just your part. Yeah.
Absolutely.
What?
You know, energetically, there's, I don't know what I'm going to call them, threads, right? With energy threads that run between people.
Mhm.
And when you start going down the road of this kind of rumination and plotting,
Yes.
that little thread just grows.
Yes.
And
other little threads
energetically,
wrap around it and it becomes a
a really gross monster.
Yes.
Like those pictures that were, someone's drawing was really good in that.
I loved all those pictures.
Boy, that's a lot of energy to spend on.
Oh, it feels so exhausting. The whole thing feels so to put that much energy into another person is just exhausting.
Yeah.
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 Ooh, there's some trauma. There's some
Take some responsibility, do some
Yes.
healing.
Yes.
Stop being so codependent with people.
Oh, yes. Yes. Absolutely.
Okay, so if you're being bullied, that's not codependency. So don't listen to them. Please don't think that they're right. That's terrible. This is old school, old generational thinking, and why there's so many broken, as they would say, people in the younger generations, because we were told to just get over it. Don't be so sensitive. Just get over it. It's fine. No. Anyway, as far as putting a curse, a hex, whatever, painful magic on somebody and walking around with it, a lot of times you set it and you forget it and you're good. That's what I do. I don't do spell work that I have to keep feeding and feeding and feeding and feeding and feeding. You just set it and you walk away. That spell I did on my neighbor 3 years ago, do you think I was constantly feeding that energy? No, forgot all about it, honestly, until I heard like 3 weeks ago that, or maybe a month ago, that he has MS and was like, oh my God. So yeah, like I'm not a fan. There are spells out there that you have to keep giving energy to. That can be very exhausting, and that's not my jam. It's not what I like to practice because I just can't. I'm not good at being consistent at eating dinner every night. Forget feeding a candle or feeding a spell constantly. I can't even keep my money bowl up. I always forget to feed the money bowl. So like that's just a thing that I don't recommend. I don't recommend long spells. But these two, like if you do a curse, you set it. The best ones that I like are the ones that you set, you forget, you walk away from, and you let justice do its thing. You let spirit do its thing and not worry about it anymore. But really, they're really ripping apart something that's clearly supposed to be silly.
Dude.
Yeah.
And you know what else is? There are practitioners out there who make money. A person comes to them, this person who's in some sort of
You talked about this in the last
they're
video.
trauma bonding, they're in their wounding and their traumas, etc. Blah blah blah. And they go to a practitioner to do those things. People take money to do those things, to put those spells and everything. It's just gross. It's so disgusting that practitioners out there take advantage of these people at their weakest.
Two things. One, I will never take money from you to do a spell. I will never do a spell for you, ever. I'm going to be rolling out. I already have coaching options on my website, but I will be offering courses and coaching on spell work and on witchcraft. So that is something that we can individually do, of me walking you through things, but I will never do it for you. And it's because I have a very strong belief that it's really risky to have other people do spell work for you instead of you doing it, because you don't know the environment. You don't know what that person's thinking at the time, what's going on in their life at the time. And even if they're a legitimate, wonderful practitioner with very good intentions, who is very skilled, they still might be doing something that could influence that spell work to not go the way that you're hoping. And then if you're not believing, or you're waiting, and when's it going to happen? When's it going to happen? When's it going to happen? Your energy is going to be counteracting that as well. So it's really important, in my practice anyway, I have found it's really important that whatever spell work I want done, I do it myself, and I trust that it will work out, and I don't question it. Where if somebody else does it for you, you're going to question it. Did they do it? Did they do it right? How did they do it? How do I know it's working? When is it going to work? Especially when you put money into it. There are very skilled practitioners out there. I recommend, if you decide to pay somebody, which I highly suggest not to vet them, to do a ton of research on the individual, speak to people, get words of mouth, speak to other customers, find out if other people believe that they are really a genuine practitioner, because there are a lot of bad ones out there. There's a lot of terrible ones out there. That's the other thing. I have a coworker / friend who is a good person and is well-meaning, but isn't very witchy. And they are more of a reader, but they don't know much about magic. And they had a TikTok channel that exploded. They did so well on it. And they started, I don't know if I want to say the word greedy, but kind of, and started doing manifestation candles on their TikTok channel live. And they would take people's money for it while all these people are watching. For one, I would never recommend doing spell work live while others are watching. That's insane, because it's a portal and you're letting however many people watching to access that energy. But number two, also, this friend of mine, I only saw one video of them doing it. And after that, I was like, I can't watch this anymore, because look at all these poor people that don't know any better, and they think that they're paying for something great, and they're not. She didn't charge a lot. It was like $11 or something for each candle, but she got colors wrong, which sometimes all it matters is intention. So yeah, but like, it's very basic to know that red is love and green is money. Like, very basic candle colors, super basic candle colors. She got them wrong. And then while she was working on people's candles, she was talking about her own problems in her relationship. And she's trying to light manifestation candles and bring in energy for love for certain individuals. Like, if I had bought a candle for love and I want to manifest love, she's working on that candle and she's talking about how terrible her relationship is. Oh yeah, that's a great energy to feed into somebody's candle. Like, no, you should, when you're doing spell work, you need to be focused on that spell work and on that spell work alone, nothing else, nobody else. So when I saw that, I just was like, and I didn't say anything to her because it's not my place, but it also made me just go, oh my God, I can't support her anymore. So I stopped. And it just, like I said, it was an ignorant thing on her end, because she thought she knew what she was doing. And obviously she wasn't. But that was like a minor harm, like minor thing. But there are some people out there that will take hundreds of dollars from you and not do any spell work and say that they did, or they don't do the right stuff, or their intention is poor, or whatever, and string you along. There's a lot of bad people out there that do that, especially on the internet. There's also a lot of wonderful people out there. So, but don't be naive. Don't be naive. Do not give somebody your money to do a spell for you that you don't know anything about them. Because even if it's only a $5 spell, that's still them doing something for your energy, and it may not go well. Just saying. All right, let me see what they say, what the rest is here.
Moments, and they take your money, and yeah, gross. They need healing. That person needs healing. The person absolutely needs healing.
A big one that I want to talk about super fast that I used to see on TikTok a lot when I was on there frequently. I haven't been on there in a while. I'm trying to get back into the whole social media thing for the business. When a reader a tarot reader would do a reading, whatever. They got cards, they're doing a reading, and they pull out, I don't know, let's say the Queen of Swords reversed. And it's a love reading. Most people want love readings. They could easily say, oh, this is a third party, honey. We need to do a third party removal spell for you. Contact me and we'll get that going for you. I can't tell you how many people I have seen say that. Don't trust that. Don't trust that. Please don't. All right, let's keep going.
Whew, okay, I think that was number 9. So I think there's one more.
Okay.
5 way. Oh, to remove curses.
If your life feels like a horror movie, you might be under a curse. Let's fix that fast.
Yeah.
Curses have been around.
Sorry, guys. Let me slow this down. Wow. I'm going to back this up a little bit. Okay.
Gross. They need healing. That person needs healing. The person absolutely needs healing. Whew, okay, I think that was number 9. So I think there's one more.
I didn't edit this. I'm not editing it. So
5 way. Oh, to remove curses.
let's see.
If your life feels like a horror movie, you might be under a curse. Let's fix that fast. Curses have been around
It's
since
still
ancient times,
fast.
but breaking them does require a time machine. First, identify the curse. Is it a string?
Did she just say breaking them does require a time machine? She's talking really, I'm going to slow this down even more. She's talking really fast.
Bad events, feeling unusually drained, that could be the sign. Next, cleanse your space. Light up some sage or incense. Walk through your home, letting the smoke touch every corner. This purifies negative energy. Then try salt bath. Salt's been used for centuries to ward off evil. Toss a handful into your bath water and soak in it. Feel the bad vibes wash away. Finally, don't forget the power of a good old-fashioned talisman. Carry a piece of amethyst or black tourmaline. These crystals act as your personal bodyguards. Remember, belief in your own power is key. You've got the magic within you. Ready to take control? Go on, break that curse.
Okay.
The end.
Another commercial. Let's see what
You
these
know, there's
guys
a
have
little
to
bit of
say.
validity to
Yes.
a little bit of what she said.
Right. So we do some of that. I don't use any kind of incense or sage or anything like that.
All sage does is make your house smell and
Ugh.
makes you cough.
Yes.
Not
It makes my house smell.
true. Oh my God. So sage. Would sage fix a curse? Honestly, I don't know. I've never tried to do that. But what sage does, and I've talked about this throughout my channel on and off for over years and years and years of time. Sage is spiritual bleach. Okay? So what sage does, and I'm not talking about smudging, that's a totally different thing. I did a video about it. Go check it out. Smudge. I'll link it in the description. Sage, smoke cleansing with sage removes all energy from your home. It's like you're bleaching something. So it takes all the energy, good and bad, out of your home. And you have to open windows or doors and let that energy go. If not, you're just stirring it up. And if there is something negative in your home, you're going to piss it off. But because there's nowhere for it to get out. Sage, I love the smell of sage, actually. I love the smell of sage burning. And it doesn't stink, but everybody has their own opinions. And if you use sage, you need to use something else as well. So if you bleach something, now it's neutral. There's neither positive nor negative in your space. Now, could it be easy for something to negative come back in? Yeah, it doesn't protect, it removes. Then you got to put something protection-wise after the sage. So sort of like deodorant for your body. You can wash, you're nice and clean, your armpits are nice and clean, you don't smell anymore, you just took a shower. If you don't put deodorant on, now you're going to start to stink real fast again. So it's important to add the deodorizer in a way, spiritually speaking. So there's all different ways to do it. It doesn't have to be smoke. But if you use sage, that means you probably prefer smoke cleansing, which is fine. So you could use any kind of high vibrational incense, not sage, because that will defeat the purpose. Like You could do rosemary, you could do cedar, you could do cinnamon, you can do rose, you can do lavender, myrrh, frankincense. There's a lot depending on what your intention is of what you're trying to do in your space. Lemongrass. There's a lot of stuff. But whatever you do, make sure if you sage that you do something to follow that up to boost up the positive energy in your space. Okay. Let's see what else these biddies have to say.
Makes me cough, gives
Yes.
me a headache. It's not the
I
sage.
love the smell.
No, it is like that other one. It's the intent.
It is the
And
intent.
if that makes you feel better to use the sage and whatever, we always say, fine. I mean, it's your home, it's your ritual, it's whatever, but it should be something that you do with yourself and your home all the time, is keep that higher vibration, keep the love coming, keep the gratitude, whatever that higher vibration is. That's beautiful to do that. And really that's what it is about. I when she talks about it's so weird. So we just went from breaking those curses. Okay. There are times when you need more than that, when a witch has done something, we've helped people that needed
Yes.
more than that. They're just not capable of keeping that level up. They're not, they're still learning about themselves. They're still learning about their worth and ownership and so forth. And that's what we help people find. And once you find that shit doesn't affect you. But
I think
But you've been
the
attacked,
most
right?
valid point that was made in that whole video was at the very end is take ownership of yourself.
Yes.
I don't remember what her verbiage was,
yes,
but getting rid of a curse by yourself ego is too involved.
yes,
Ego is too involved. There's healing because the curse gets attached to wounding.
yes, it does.
It does. And it doesn't matter if it was meant for you or your neighbor and you happen to just walk into it.
Right. And the salt piece, you still have to infuse that salt with your intention, with the high vibration.
Wait a minute. Hold on. It doesn't matter if the curse was intended for you or your neighbor if you walk into it. Like what? Like as if somebody's throwing a ball and you walk in front of the ball and the ball hits you instead? What? That doesn't make any sense. That's why there's tag locks. That's why there's names. That's why there's initials. That's why there's birth dates. There's a lot. That doesn't make any sense. And it shows how little she knows. And again, they're claiming this, and yet, 2 or 3 things ago, they said that there is no such thing. There is no such thing as magic or spell work. It doesn't work. But now all of a sudden you can get somebody else's curse because you walked into it? What? Oh, I'm very tired. My brain is so over this right now. I've been doing this. I'm on 2 hours and 9 minutes right now of recording. I do have ad breaks to cut out and glitches to cut out, so I will be doing that. We're almost done. Thank God. That I think that was the last one, right? I want to talk about salt for a minute. I love salt. Salt is a wonderful protector. I actually personally mean to do more with salt than I do. I use salt in all of my spell work to protect the spell work. For any reason. It doesn't matter what the spell work is, it's to protect it from outside influence. I also have in the past lined my windows with salt, but I don't recommend that because when there's humidity and stuff, it can screw up your windows. And I found that out the hard way, unfortunately. But I really like salt. I love soaking in salt. One of the tools that I've recommended to clients, I haven't in a while actually, is to put your feet, if you can't soak in an Epsom salt bath, Epsom salt, not table salt. If you can't soak in an Epsom salt bath, get like a bucket or a big can, and like if you don't have a bath or if your bath doesn't allow soaking because it's broken or something, sit down and put your feet in a Epsom salt bath and picture the stuff being drawn out of you. And I mean stuff in general. I'm not talking about a curse. I'm just talking about negative energy in general, because I really absorb a lot of energy from my customers, and I will sprinkle Epsom salt on the floor of my shower when I'm taking a shower and stand on it directly. But be careful if you do that. That's very slippery. So be careful. It's not a very safe practice to do, but it does help if you don't have time to take a bath. I love salt. I love the salt water. I live down the street from the ocean. Anything ocean based is wonderful as well because it's grounding and it's cleansing. So that is a solid protector, and it's one of the reasons why I like it is it's versatile and it's really easy to use. You can't screw up with it really, unless if you put it in a place that you can cause damage. I've actually intend to put bowls of salt in certain areas of my home to help absorb. It's recommended to put bowls of salt in your bedroom to absorb the nightmares, to absorb the fears, to help heal you overnight and sleep near it, and then replace it with a new one in the morning. I don't do that. It's something I would like to get around to doing. And I don't know how well it works. I'm assuming it works well because salt works really good when I do use it. So there's that. But I agree, it is based on intention. Everything is based on intention. It is. And it actually is good ritual to try to cleanse your house on a regular basis. I've slacked on that myself. But let's see what else they say.
And a lot of people are not taught how to set intentions. What is an intention? How do you set it properly? And
that's true.
And most people don't know how to get to the vibration that's needed
that's
for
true
salt
too.
to do any purification.
This is why you need to learn before you do spells.
It's not as simple as that just made it sound. Sorry.
Yeah, no.
I agree with that. I agree with that.
Wow. Okay. Well, thank everyone. I thank everyone for sending those in. I don't know who did, and again, we had a lot of stuff come in, and so grateful. Thank you. You were going to say something, and I
was. So how do you break a curse? You go to tcseverydaypsychics.com and you reach out.
Please don't.
Yes.
I mean, if you want to, go ahead.
Absolutely.
But
yeah,
please don't give these people.
Now, personal healings do cost money. However, if you need your home cleared because you have some activity going on, whether that's witchy or paranormal, which you can kind of put those in the same thing, but if it's those clearings are always free. So yeah.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah, they are into your home either.
Thank you again. I hope you all enjoy this. Please leave your comments. Tell us what you think. Let us know. And we hopefully our intention is to not wait so long to get the next video out.
Yeah.
And again, thank you for all your support and thank you for waiting.
Absolutely.
Life
it does.
Life gets ahead of us sometimes.
Life happens.
Okay, we're done with them. Bye, ladies. Okay. So I'm going to wrap up here. Thank you for hanging out with me. It's been a long one. It's probably going to be even longer to edit because I have to cut out all the commercials. But this one wasn't so bad. I feel like this was a little bit more positive than the one before. Maybe I'm just in a different mood today. Maybe I'm not seeing it accurately. And when I edit it, I'm going to be like, oh my God. There was some points in there that they made that I did quite well agree with. And I felt like they were good things to say. There was some bad ones as well. And the biggest thing is, like I've said before with these women, I don't know them at all. And I hope, there's an ambulance that just went by. But I think I would have heard it if it was right next door. I don't know them at all. And I was referred to them by a viewer, which obviously they talked about it in this specific video. They call themselves psychic healers and mediums. And I don't know anything about their skills, their abilities, who they are as people. I don't know any, I don't even know where they're located. And everything I've said in this video about them is my personal opinion and point of view. It's not gospel. Don't take it as gospel. That's a terrible word because I don't like the Christian thing, but you know what I mean. Don't take it as the hard truth because, again, I don't know them. I don't know what they are thinking. I don't know what their intent is with some of the things that they have said. I'm just giving my interpretation and my impressions of things. Again, my website is melsdivination.com. If you're still with me, I really appreciate that. And we're doing a 50% off August sale right now on both store readings in my store, and readings by appointment. That will be done officially. The last day is August 31st. And then that is it for sales, probably until December time, November, December time, until close to Christmas time is my plan. I also have a digital download for a manifesting journal that is normally $11.11, but it is 50% off right now on the store. So go check that out if you like manifesting and you want some help with that. And I also have a course on my site, which is Intro to Reading Oracle Cards, which also teaches you about your intuition and how to interact with that. That is not currently 50% off, but I will be running a sale on that eventually at some point, and I will be doing more courses, and I also offer coachings as well. So if there's anything here that I've mentioned that I offer as services, readings, coachings, courses, whatever, feel free to message me at melsdivinationreadings@gmail.com, and make sure you put YouTube viewer or saw you on YouTube or interested in services or something that you stand out, because I get a lot of spam on there. And I don't want to miss anybody that's an actual client messaging me. And I think that's about it. Oh, also, if there's videos that you want me to do a reaction video to, feel free to send it to me. Not short ones. I'm not going to do 30-second clips unless if there's something major there, because like I mentioned, while I was viewing the ones that Pam and Mary Lynn did, there's so much information that's left out with those short ones that I don't feel comfortable having a proper reaction to it, because it's just not fair. It's not fair. There's not enough information to be able to give an accurate thing. And I think that's it for the day. I hope I see you guys soon. I'm going to be doing live tarot readings this upcoming week, so check those out. It's $5 for a mini, $15 for a full by donation. And I'm also selling products as well on YouTube to close out my Etsy shop. So I hope you guys have a great day. And I'm looking forward to spending more time with the community. We're going to get memberships up and going very soon again, because I'm excited about spending time with you guys. Bye for now.